Welcome to the 6B.1 note set on indirect object pronouns. An indirect object in a sentence expresses to whom or for whom an action is done. In the example below, the indirect object answers the question, to whom does Claire speak? Claire speaks to her mother. To her mother is the indirect object noun in this case. Subject pronouns in French have corresponding indirect object pronouns. The subject pronoun je, meaning I, has the corresponding indirect object pronoun me, meaning to me. Tu, meaning you, has te, meaning to you. Il and elle, meaning he, she, and it, have lui, which means to him, to her, and also to it. On the plural side, nous has itself as its own indirect object pronoun, meaning to us. Vous also has itself, meaning to y'all, as an indirect object pronoun. Il and elle plural have the indirect object pronoun of leur, meaning to them. Indirect object pronouns replace indirect object nouns, just like subject pronouns replace regular nouns. Claire talks to her mom. To her mom is the indirect object noun, which is replaced by lui in the final sentence. Claire lui parle. Claire speaks to her. In sample 2, I send gifts to my nieces. To my nieces is the indirect object noun. It's replaced with to them in the French version of the sentence. In this case, it is leur. The indirect object pronoun comes before the conjugated verb in a present tense and also in a passé composé. Antoine, je te parle. I'm speaking to you. The te goes right before parle. Our dad sent us an email. Nous comes before avoir, which then comes before the past participle of envoyer in a passé composé. In a negative statement, you have to place the indirect object pronoun between the ne and the conjugated verb. Antoine, I am not talking to you. It's the ne, the pronoun, the verb, and the pas. The same pattern applies to a passé composé. Ne, pronoun, conjugated verb, pas, and then in this case, the past participle goes after. When there is an infinitive, for example, in a future tense, the indirect object pronoun goes before the infinitive regardless of what comes before. We are going to send a tie to him. Lui is the to him. It goes right before the unconjugated verb donner. In the second one, they hope to loan the suit to you. Your unconjugated verb prêter has the indirect object pronoun in front of it. This is a list of verbs that use indirect object pronouns, and it all has to do with the preposition à. In French, you often ask to someone. In English, you would never say that, but in this case, you have to use the à because it's part of the idiom. The indirect object pronouns me and te will become m' and t' before a verb that begins with a vowel sound. Ton petit ami t'envoie des fleurs, and Isabelle m'a prêté son sac à main. These were the practice activities that we did when we took the notes. If you have questions about what the answers turned out to be or anything else in this note set, please see Madame. This is the end of the note set.